Darnold on first down. And he will fall. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down. A pass for negative yardage, obviously no good. Maybe he shouldn't have thrown it, or maybe he shouldn't have caught it.
And I think we were seeing it at the same time, weren't we? Maybe you let that one go, right? Because you can see the lost yardage about to develop. But that goes against every instinct of a receiver. They're taught to catch everything. So it's really hard to be mad at him and yell at him for trying to make that play.
Darnold off the play fake to Bell. Found his target. It's Anderson. Just one catch for him last week in the wild card win, but getting involved early here and picks up the first.
I know at the end of games, coaches always tell us that no one play won or lost a game. But this seems pretty important early, doesn't it? Their ability to pick up that first down on third down, I thought that was key.
Well, you're already in the hole after the touchdown on the other side. How will you respond? We talk about that a lot, and they responded pretty well there. You go 3 and out, I think you give up a lot of momentum. You get down 2 scores, could be an entirely different game.
So they've got a nice drive going now. They're in good shape. What's interesting to me is they're also in that spot of the field where you would take a shot. Do you change that up just because you're down a touchdown? Nothing fancy on first down, but a very consistent type of a play. Hit that slant. A lot of people call it an extension of the running game, and it can be if that pass is completed, because you hit a guy on the run like that, he often can go for big yardage.
And he's going to take it in for a Jets touchdown. Jamison Crowder.
Here we go, here we go. 180! Check 53, 21. Here we go.
Now Garoppolo on the bootleg. Blitz coming, and down he goes. Chandler Jones, one of the best athletes to ever come out of Rochester, New York, in for the sack. And that is the 3rd sack this offensive line has allowed this first quarter.
Yeah, that puts him on pace. Let me do the rudimentary math here. To be sacked 12 times in a game, I know he's not going to go for that. I wonder if it's going to reshape with the...
And a big loss here as he's taken down. Leonard Williams in there to drop him, and sacks on 1st and 2nd downs. Now leads to a 3rd and long.
So, Brandon, we've sat in with a lot of coaches, and when they talk about things they want to accomplish offensively, I'm not sure that sack and sack are on their play sheet.
Garoppolo, and that is incomplete.
Are we on the same page here, partner? Because I think they had the right idea. Just take what you can get on 3rd and forever.
Yeah, in real life, I'd say yes. It's just these video games are tempting. You want to go downfield with it.
I like the way you've evolved. You know, you've learned how to play it the Madden way.
Give him 11 yards that time on the return. And the Jets will take over 1st and 10. And New York set to take the field. They had to go a long way on their last drive to score the touchdown. This time they get at least a little bit more of a cushion with field position.
I have to think that with this field position, after what they did on the last drive, they might want to take a shot right now and try and cut down the length of the drive.
And that'll be good for 8 yards to the 45. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion.
Now that's staying ahead of the chains. Really good pickup on first down, hitting the tight end there. Now it brings up a 2nd and manageable.
Just found a hole in that zone. Now this is Le'Veon Bell with a reception.
Let's go, boys. Bring it up.
It's a gain of 3.
On first down, it's Darnold. He's going to leave this for his running back. It's complete. And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 47. It'll be a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd and 11. And never good on a pass completion there to go the wrong way. Lost yardage.
No, for some reason it seems to work better when you throw it downfield or you move the ball downfield running it that way, doesn't it? But in this case, if you're the defensive guys, you're energized, executed well, and you caused a lost yardage play. That's going to feel good and look great in film.
His first reception of the divisional round matchup, but it's good for a first down as well.
Sometimes the most effective routes are the ones that you run in the backyard. You probably ran them when you were 5 years old. How about a little curl there against zone? But the key to it, is finding the open spots in the zone. How a linebacker or a defensive back will widen to give you space. Find that area and let your quarterback hit you.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. Not sure what happened out there, but it looked like the timing was a little off on that throw.
Well, you know I'm a defender, so what am I going to say?
Great defense.
And darn right, they did something to disrupt that timing.
A 6-yard pickup on the ground that time, and that'll make it 3rd and 4 coming up.
False start, offense.
And that'll be accepted, of course, and that moves him back 5. After the false start, sets up a 3rd and 9. Out of the shotgun, here's Darnold. Well, he's going to go for it all. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down. They're going for a receiver there. Already has 1 touchdown in this first half. A second one not to be.
I like where their headspace is, though. I mean, I really like the thought process, right? You got a guy who's already scored one, right? You want to go back to him, continue the hot hand.
And Denver getting set to take the field. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency. Move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. He'll have a first down and more past the 20. And finally taken down at the 26-yard line. Last play, they got stuffed at the line. Different story here, over 20 yards.
Okay, every now and then, my defensive bias will leak out here. Abysmal play for them. You've got them backed up, and you let them out.
And take advantage. And you know who's happy? The punter. Because if he was needed, they gave him a lot of space to work with now.
Yeah, because he would have had a lot to think about, right? Don't step over the back line and give him a safety. Now he's got room if he needed it.
Throwing there, but this pass is going to wind up incomplete.
NFL quarterbacks work so hard on their mechanics, and they do so much repetition in practice, off-season, the whole deal. They expect it to be autopilot once the games start. That way it eliminates any type of pressure of the game, pressure of people in your face, all of that. That didn't shine through on that throw, though, did it?
No, a little bit of a dangerous pass and off target, too. And the Jets pressure too much as down he goes. Leonard Williams able to get in there for his 2nd sack of the afternoon. They come up on 2nd and long, and the pass protection just has not been there this afternoon. Second quarter action, 2 minutes to go on divisional round weekend. We remind you, as we've done all year, that coming up at halftime, we will visit with Jonathan Coachman standing by in Orlando. He'll let you know what's going on here on a very eventful divisional round weekend. It's a pickup of 12, and that'll set up a 3rd down. Throwing now is Garoppolo. They'll set up a screen for Breida. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. Broncos on the move here a bit. Nice plays in succession back-to-back.
They ran that one well. And not only did they pick up a nice chunk of yardage on the screen, they sent a message to the defense. Rush the passer all you want, but you better be careful. We can hit you going back the other direction. Well, that's what you're looking for when you want to throw the ball downfield. You want one of those guys who can play out on the perimeter, can play out wide, who can not only get open, but when they're covered, can uncover themselves downfield and create catches.
A gain of 5, good enough for the first down. First down now, but the clock continues to move. On first down, Garoppolo.
I know it was a gain, but you have to sense probably a little bit of disappointment there because when it's out there in open space, I think they expect to get more out of a play, don't you?
Especially when you're getting it to your guy out of the backfield. You're expecting him to be able to create something, be a little more shifty.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Good open field tackling held it to an okay gain.
Now a throw to incomplete. Got out of the pocket. Didn't look like he had anybody open, Charles, so just gets rid of it.
And a good play by him. If no one's open and you don't have a running lane that you want to take, make the right choice. Get rid of it. Live to fight another down.
Now the Broncos are going to call the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 20 seconds to go in the first half. The offense on 3rd down tonight, they've been okay. 2 for 3 thus far. They're looking at 3rd in the nose of the football. He can run for it, and he will. And he'll slide down to avoid the tackle. Now the Broncos going to use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 14 seconds to go in this first half. They'll try to run with Lindsey, and he will fight his way into the end zone for a Bronco touchdown. Phillip Lindsay as the first half is winding down, and the Broncos have taken the lead.
And that touchdown gives them a touchdown lead before they attempt the extra point. What a great way to end the half.
Yeah, great job to put themselves in front. And now, see on the sideline, special teams defense scrambling, saying we want to preserve this for the final moments of this second quarter. And to no one's surprise here in Denver, that'll carry through the back of the end zone for a touchback. Final 12 seconds of the half now as they've got it 1st and 10. They'll indeed try to run it out as they start on the ground. And he's going to get a good gain of 9 here up to the 34. Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see. Maybe a good spot to take a shot. Here's 2nd and a yard from the 34. Here's Darnold. That's caught left side by Bellamy. And we're going to get a timeout with 2 seconds remaining in the second quarter. Trying to get one more in here before the quarter breaks. A final shot before the break. Darnold. Airing one out for Crowder. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. It's Chris Harris with a pick, and he will be brought down as time is now run out on this first half of action. So I'm waltzing down Main Street, got an umbrella, just a torrential downpour, and I look over, and this guy, stone-faced, wearing a poncho that says, "Don't rain on my parade," and he is just angry. And we got to go. I'll tell you the rest later. Here we go, third quarter. Sam Darnold leading the offense out for their next possession. And he's had some time to chew on that interception he threw on his last drive back in the first half.
Well, normally we say you want to get him right back out on the field and play again, right? But as you mentioned, had the halftime, had to stew about it a little bit. Maybe he'll have a chance to relax a little and kind of laugh and chuckle and let it go.
He'll hope to respond positively here to start the third quarter.
I have to think a major focus of the halftime meetings had to be figuring out how to create space for the running game to get operating.
Well, what you pointed out to me at half seems accurate. That line has struggled to sustain blocks.
Yeah, I would agree with that totally. They've got to focus on staying on their double teams at the first level, make sure that block's secured before they slide off, and try and chip someone at the second level.
To throw is Darnold. And he's going to be swallowed up. Sacked back at the 45-yard line. Von Miller doing what he does best with a sack. And no matter what the situation, the O-line just hates that because they feel like they didn't protect little brother back there, right?
Man, that's just so difficult for them because just think about every single play. When you decide to throw the football, you're dealing with some of the best athletes on the planet. You talk about guys, if they weren't playing football, they'd be starring in the NBA at power forward. It's a really difficult task.
From the gun on third down, here's Darnold. Open man is Anderson. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. So a holding penalty, and that'll send him backwards.
You know they're trying not to do that. I mean, we know that, right? We talk to them all the time. But sometimes the defensive guys just put you in awkward situations, and you get caught grabbing their jerseys.
He's going to go for a big play. It's caught inside the 25. And all the way in. Touchdown, New York. Josh Bellamy, 50.
Here we go. 21. Here we go. Watch the slip.
They'll start on the ground with Lindsey. And he's upended at the 33 following a good pickup of 8.
Playing against a 3-4 front is really challenging for offensive linemen because they can do so many different things. But when you're running the football, if you can handle the nose tackle up front, and then maybe a guard can slide up to the second level and block a linebacker, that's when you have success running the football. I think he's a little trigger happy right there, and it turned into an ill-advised throw into their zone.
Well, we know he has confidence. He'll throw it any place, anytime, anywhere. That time it fell incomplete. Now the Georgia Southern man, it's Matt Breida. He is going nowhere as he is enveloped behind the line. The defense stiffens to force fourth down following that first down gain of 8.
Well, they picked up a portion of it, but not all that they needed. Now that leads to a decision on 4th and 1. Let's see what they decide to do.
Garoppolo, quarterback sneak, and he'll burrow his way forward to pick up the first. A big roll of the dice on 4th and 1, but it pays off. They convert.
It seems like a short distance, but a yard in this situation, not easily done. So big compliments to the guys up front for creating some space, and especially the guy taking the snap and finding a spot, finding a sliver. One thing I have learned, receivers don't mind high throws so much to the sideline, but do that over the middle to them, and not only are the DBs going to throw a little verbal trash their way, when they get back to the huddle, they have a few words to say to their QB, aren't they?
Yeah, hung out to dry a little bit there on the high throw. Luckily fell incomplete. Last play, they got stuffed at the line. Different story here, over 20 yards. They were in zone defensively, went with a crossing route. It's always interesting to watch that chess match.
Yeah, and I think safeties don't mind crossing routes against zone, because eventually you're going to run into their territory, and that's when they lick their chops in order to get the big hit or play on the ball.
Offensively, nice execution to find a hole, make the catch. To throw again on 2nd down. Garoppolo. They'll complete this to Ingram as tight end. And he's going to get this inside the 30. 12 yards there and a first down.
That coaches always harp on the quarterback reading the defense and getting it to the open man. That's good recognition there. And how about what he did after the catch?
Yeah, hit your tight end, let him get some rack.
Yeah, but when he gets moving, not many guys want to come over and put a hit on him, do they? Well, they had that one snipped out. Excellent run blitz. Stop that one for a short gain.
What makes a good run? And he'll take it into the end zone for a Denver score. A 24-yard touchdown. And the Broncos.
You got 2 shots. He just need to score. Mike 54. All day, dog. Watch out, watch out, watch out, watch out.
Now a fake on the give here as they try the run-pass option.
They always say that real estate is about location. Well, guess what? When it's a slant route, the quick ones, timing, timing, timing. Got to be able to lead your man with the football.
And the timing off right there. Threw it behind him. On 2nd down, it's Bell. And they're able to get this one across the 35. 11 yards there, first down.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral. Also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
Darnold complete to Crowder. Give him 9 there on the first down completion.
Slant route's effective no matter who's running the route and catching the ball. But when you have a receiver of that stature, you have to be a little bit more precise throwing it. You don't have the same catch radius with the bigger targets.
Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Darnold, 2 catches now in this divisional round matchup. That one, a first down. The drive continues as they search for a tying touchdown. Here's 1st and 10. Darnold completes it. And they'll get this just to the 47, 1-yard gain. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
And a 5-yard gain gets him to the 42. So on that play, defense was in the zone. They ran a crossing route offensively, but the defense there, you got to be good with communication, don't you?
You certainly do, and it's not something that is really evident when you watch it on the screen. But everyone's talking, communicating, pointing, and it keeps you from chasing receivers because you have a specific zone you have to cover. When a receiver's in your zone and he crosses to another one, you got to let your guy know. They got a completion there, but I like the discipline they showed to stay in their proper areas and then make the tackle.
And now a throw here secured by his running back out of the backfield. And this time not quite to the 30. It'll be down at the 31-yard line. Second and 5 after the 5-yard completion on first down. Now it's Darnold. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Desmond King picks it. And a very good return as he'll take it all the way up to the 40-yard line.
And that's a great example of ball skills right there, partner. You and I do a lot of games, and I can't tell you how many guys look to run with the football before they've intercepted it. So that's a nice job of focusing on the task at hand and coming away with the interception.
Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. Got to figure now, after getting that turnover, they're just going to be happy to keep the ball on the ground, right?
This is where covering the football, taking care of the ball, all the ball security terms that have ever been used, they come into play for the guys on offense right now. Just take care of it, and they've got a good chance of ending up winning this game.
Now a deep ball there on 2nd down, but it'll wind up incomplete. Well, there have been a ton of sacks. They were just trying to prevent another.
So what you're telling me is the conventional way has not really worked for them, huh?
Not at all.
Not at all. So he tries to grab him here, and they still get caught.
Now this one to his running back out of the backfield. And, he's going to be brought down by the face mask. Here come the flags. This is going to get him a first down. Boy, a tight game like this, fourth quarter, personal foul penalties, a no-no.
Yeah, we know the emotions are running high. The tensions are the same. Who can control them best could ultimately win it.
Over the middle, that's caught by Ridley. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. That's a good chunk of yardage. It's going to be canceled out.
And we always talk about hidden yardage in a game. That's going to count as that because now it doesn't go on the books. But now they have to make that up again, don't they?
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete.
Now, he's been a busy man out of the backfield. They've looked his way quite a bit so far in this game.
Nice job there defensively, though, adjusting, because a couple of his earlier catches, he was wide open. Not that time.
You mentioned the key word, adjustment. A better cover man on him now in space.
No gain on the play that time, and they'll look to convert on what will be a 3rd and 4. From the gun on 3rd, Garoppolo. He'll be taken down. The Jets get in there for the sack. Brandon Copeland in there to record another sack, and that is now 6 on the afternoon for this defensive unit.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
So this defense gets an assist from the goalpost, and as a result, it's going to keep them within 1 score.
Yeah, now looked to be good the whole way. But that is a big break here in the 4th quarter of a football game. Now your offense needs to find a way to capitalize.
Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. That's complete to his tight end. This is Lance Kendricks. A good pickup there, 26 yards. So a 1st and 10 now in Denver territory at the 25-yard line. 4th quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a 1-score game. So it's Jets football as we get you reset here. They come up score here on what could be their final drive. Now he dumps this off over the middle. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2. Back to throw. To the end zone, but it's incomplete.
Got to be wary of throwing an interception here because the defense knows they're going to get tested deep. That's why they're going to put a couple of extra guys back there to try and prevent that.
Yeah, late in the fourth quarter here, trying to preserve the lead. Darnold. Out to the flat. That's complete to his running back. And he appears to be about 2 feet short on 3rd and 3. Leaves him with a 4th and 1. He's back to throw. And that is incomplete.
Let's go.
Well, certainly not the way that they were hoping that possession would end, failing to convert on 4th.
And now they've got to make sure that they keep their poise, they keep their confidence. Just because it didn't work once doesn't mean if they get that same situation later that they shouldn't go for it again. The defense feels great, but the offense, they can't be despondent.
Here we go.
The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5.
I got you.
They'll go again with Lindsey. And they'll bring him down at the 27-yard line. Now the Jets going to use the second of their 3 timeouts as they get the stoppage with 65 seconds remaining. They're not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. On 1st and 10, it's Lindsey. And I think this defense knew what was coming as he is smothered behind the line. The Jets going to go ahead and use their final timeout as they get the stoppage with just over a minute to go in the game. You'd have to think likely another running play coming here, 2nd and 11. The win for the Broncos seemingly assured. They go down to a knee.
Here we go. Double time. 3 down. Hey, check. 3 down.
They go to a knee here, and with that, it's on to the AFC title game. The Broncos send out their punter now as he'll come on to kick this one away. And they have secured a spot in the conference championship, and now you can start to smell it at this point in the season, can't you?
You really can, because the focus has been one game at a time, not looking ahead. But when you get to the conference championship game and you know you're there, the Super Bowl does loom in the future.
I'm in a brand new model. It'll be here tomorrow. I don't got fears or problems. Only got real ones round them. Only got... It take a week to count it. Then I'm back up. Name the place and we pack up. Running these racks up. 100 meals a week after. Dying from laughter. When it come to handles, never had one. With a bad one. Made a meal today, it ain't my last one.
Hello, everybody. It's the coach. This is a special...
Coach, as far as home field advantages go in the playoffs, there are few tougher places on a visiting team than this one. Sold out Broncos Stadium at Mile High in Denver. Straight ahead, it's a clash to decide the AFC's representative in the Super Bowl. And it'll be a great one between our visitors and the Denver Broncos.
Get ready. Like 180. Like 180. You ain't got nothing. Watch twist. 89.
Play fake to Gordon. Now Rivers. And the Broncos get there and take him down. Cameron Wake credit him with a sack, and it goes as a loss of 6.
It may be cliche, but it is something that holds up over time, doesn't it? If you're the visitors, you don't want to let the crowd in the game early.
Yeah, and that's exactly what they did there. But you said also this defense, they're going to give them a lot of looks like we just saw there, aren't they?
They certainly are. They're a proud unit, and they're going to ride the momentum of this crowd with them, and that's why they got after them early.
On third down, Rivers. Hunter Henry brings it in. And he gets it to the 32. Good enough for a first down. A strong 8 yards will keep this drive rolling.
Well, they can put him in a number of different places. In line, H-back, put him in the slot. In this case, they put him out wide. Matchup nightmare. Who are you going to send out to cover him? And he picks up a first down with that catch.
5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down.
You know what really fires up offensive linemen? When the guy that is carrying the ball behind them can create his own space and break a tackle along the way.
2nd and 5 now. Rivers toward the left sideline, but it's incomplete. They come up now 3rd and 5 following the incomplete pass. From the gun, Rivers. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And this won't do it. He needed 6. He only got halfway there.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield.
Here we go, here we go, here we go. 180! Hey, watch the slant. Watch the hunt.
They'll run for the first time with Phillip Lindsay. And he'll be brought down. Oh, that's a face mask. Certainly looked like it. Indeed, here come the flags. Officials so cognizant of that call nowadays, but that one looked pretty easy.
Yeah, you're right. They took out of their hands having to wonder whether it's a 5-yard or a 15-yard inadvertent or not. Now, it's a lot easier. You see it, you call it.
And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. The drive starting play, a good one. Give him 19.
How best to describe that one? I'd say right down Broadway on that run.
A straight-ahead running. I think that might be something we see a lot of between the tackles today.
Well, he's enjoying things so far here this afternoon. Sees a crease and bursts through it for a solid game.
It's caught inside the 25. A very nice pickup of 33 yards.
You know I'm going to lean towards the defender, right? You know I'm going to do that.
I know.
That's a tough situation for him as I see it. But the truth of the matter is, that ball was not streaking towards him. That little arc on it, he's got to find a way to get his head around and make a play on the football.
And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. Tackle made by Thomas Davis. A give running right, Lindsay. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. Give him 6 on the play, and that'll make it 3rd and 1.
And there's a run to be happy with. Good, solid yardage. He'll take that anytime you hand the ball to a back.
On 3rd and short, going with a tight end. And he's able to pick up the first down before he's tackled right at the 10. Give him a gain of 4, able to convert, and that sets up 1st and goal now. And goal, a chance for the first points of this AFC title bout. They'll run with Lindsay, and he is swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play that time, and it sets up 2nd and goal.
Here we go, here we go.
I think what we just saw their partner was linebacking speed that can trump O-line power. We see that at times because he filled the gap before the offensive lineman could get to the next level and take him on.
And he's going to bull his way down to about the 1-yard line. A very valuable 9-yard pickup, and now they're set up a little better here for 3rd and goal. On the sneak is Garoppolo. Fighting for the end zone. He lost the football. It's out. And he'll get in. Touchdown, Denver. It's a 1-yard touchdown run. And the Broncos have taken the early lead. An ideal start for them, really. You force the punt, and then you go down and score.
And you've got to see a fist pump on the sideline from the head coach, don't you? Because he's turned into his bench, and he's telling his team, this is how we prepare. Force the punt, go downfield and score. I told you guys, it's just like a boxer in the gym preparing for the fight. Now we get to turn it all loose.
And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. Now this offense ready to head back out there. And work with me here. Is this overhyped or not? You've got a warm weather team on the road in January, and it's cold. What's the deal? Is that a factor or is it not a factor?
I think a lot of it depends on the personality of your head coach and how you prepare for things. And some things you just can't prepare for. If you're coming from a warm weather site, you can't make it cold enough like it is here in this ball game. But what you can do is just tell guys, dress for the weather, and then play like we always play. And as the game goes along, typically those guys out there playing, you warm up enough that it really shouldn't affect you quite the same way. Now, if that's all you talk about, if you put that in the heads of your players, it'll affect them in a big way.
Second catch of this AFC title game, and he's got a first down.
Well, he made that catch knowing full well that at the end of it, he's going to catch a pretty good lick.
I guess if there's anyone on this team that can absorb a pop, it's him. Rivers now to throw on first down. This complete to Henry over the middle. And he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line.
Well, they're unable to convert that into much, but it's never a bad idea to try to get the ball into a tight end of his caliber's hands and see what kind of disruption he can cause.
Now Gordon will be taken down at the 48 for a pickup of 2 yards.
He was brought down by Adrian Williamson. A 2-yard gain on the play. And it's third down.
And on third down, a nickel formation here defensively. Rivers sets up the screen to Gordon.
Come on, baby. Let's go.
Now, that's absolutely frustrating for a defender. Had a chance to get him on the ground before he got to the sideline, but what great vision and understanding where he is on the field as he headed for the marker and picked up the first down.
Now a play fake here on first down. And right side, Henry's got it. And he's going to get this inside the 30. The Chargers passing game rolling a bit here. They've got another first. Rivers with a 1st and 10. And he's 4 for 4 now, throwing the ball to start the drive. They go play action. Rivers. And that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's second down. He was trying to get that one to Allen that time, but it's going to be second down. Rivers incomplete on first down. Here's 2nd and 10. Play fake. Rivers. And that is caught. What a catch inside the 5. 23 yards the pickup there. A nice little completion there by Phillip Rivers. And you and I were reading the article yesterday, 5th grade. Rivers had to do a project where he had to make a poster about his dreams and aspirations. So he clipped out a football player from a magazine article and pasted his face on the helmet. That's what he wanted to be, and it turned out okay.
Not so bad. Not so bad at all. Remember, he's the son of a coach. And on that play, I think he made the old coach proud with that completion.
And oh, it'll be intercepted. Desmond King picks it.
Let's go, baby.
Brandon, this is why golfers do their best to never count a score in their head before the ball goes in the cup. This looked like a slam dunk for points on this drive, didn't it? Instead, they throw an interception, and they're going to come away empty.
He'll get about 3 as he's taken down at the 23.
Face mask. Defense.
So they will accept the penalty and move forward. So the yellow flag came out, and that leads to a new set of downs for this offense. 1st and 10. Garoppolo looks to throw. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. That's Thomas Davis on the sack. Came in the league way back in 2005.
And that was just absolute perfect man coverage. Nowhere for them to go with the football. Led to a sack. That's really difficult to do in today's NFL with all these gazelles running around that you're trying to cover in the secondary.
And again, the run defense stout this time. He maybe gets back to the line of scrimmage, but no more. You don't see that a ton, do you? With a cornerback coming over to the middle of the field to make a run tackle.
That's someone with a ton of confidence to feel like nothing is pressuring him on his side of the field. Sees that the ball is moved to the middle and just sprints over there to help out. He ends up getting the tackle. Well played.
Now the throw on third down, knocked away and incomplete. So it doesn't look like they're going to be able to build off the turnover.
Well, the defense certainly did its part. It got them the football. But you're exactly right. It looks like they're going to have to punt this one away. And it's not a turnover.
Here's the Los Angeles offense as they get set to take possession. And this is a unit that, to be frank, doesn't look like they've woken up yet. I mean, a punt and a turnover on their first two drives.
And I think the game's starting to take shape a little bit now. And I'm going to take it into the basketball world. When you're having trouble scoring or moving the ball in basketball, what do? Get it to their best player, right? Find a matchup, create it, exploit it, and try and move the football.
So that flag will cost them 15.
And it doesn't matter anymore how you get the face mask. Any part of it is going to be 15 yards.
Following the penalty, here's Gordon. And he'll get this down only to about the 46. The All-Pro Von Miller there on the tackle. AFC title game, second quarter action, 2 minutes to play. And a reminder, folks, as we've done all year, we'll send you to Orlando for our EA Sports halftime report coming up shortly. The coach with us, as always, as he will start to look ahead to Super Bowl 53. Now a nice throw here, right side. He hauls it in. And he's going to get this down near the 30-yard line. 16 yards, a first down.
Now that was pretty. They executed that curl route versus zone coverage, and that changes things a little bit because against man, it's often a tight curl, tight, sharply run route. Against zone, you're just looking for that open spot, that dead area, so you may curl it a little bit wider just to get to that place.
And usually a tight window. He fired a bullet in there for the completion.
They really love to get him into one-on-one opportunities, and this is one way. Work him out of this.
And he's going to go down. He's sacked back at the 24. Credit the sack to Von Miller.
And plays like that really hurt play calling. They had a really nice gain on the previous play, but gave about half the yardage back on the sack. Excellent pressure up front. Nowhere to go with the football. Down he goes.
I'm going to hit you all down, baby.
The Chargers on third down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 16. Here's Rivers. Henry's got it out on the left side. It'll be a pickup of 14, but they're still a little bit short as it brings up 4th.
That's certainly playing down in distance very well by the defense, isn't it? Take whatever you want underneath, by all means.
Badgley able to knock this one through. And they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3. So 3 drives now for this offense, and that field goal gives them their first 3 points.
So if you're an offensive coordinator and you're averaging a point a drive, you're in the wrong line of work, aren't you? You got to find a way to unlock the key to these defenses and put some big points on the board.
Face mask. Defense.
And a big face mask penalty here, 15 yards.
You never want to get your hands up in the face mask area because your fingers can get tangled up there, and that can hurt you as a player.
Throwing on first is Garoppolo. And now Garoppolo lost the football. Now the Broncos are going to call the first of their timeouts as they stop it with 28 seconds to go in the first half of play. The first down play, to be frank, nothing short of awful, and now they have to deal with 2nd and very long. Looking to throw, Garoppolo. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down. Before the game, they were running the route tree about as efficiently and effectively as we could have possibly imagined, but sometimes the passes just go awry.
Yeah, let's face it, when you're running the route tree in pregame, you don't have defenders breathing down your neck. You don't have defensive backs making plays on the football. Hard to replicate the intensity.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. Garoppolo now. He's going to fire one deep, middle of the field. And that'll wind up incomplete. Bold play call there. Now it's fourth down.
Well, partner, they're not content to run this one out as we head towards the half, trying to hit a big chunk play right there and add to their score.
Yeah, this is a confident group. At the very least, they're thinking field goal.
Yeah, and I don't blame them one bit. I don't think you sit on the ball going into the half when you have a chance to put some more points on the board.
And that's going to go in the books as a 55-yard punt. Well done. And control of the football switching hands with very little time remaining until the half. And an anxious moment or two there, but they do get him down. Now whistles and a timeout with 3 seconds left in the first half. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Final play of the half, Rivers. And he's going to go down. Couldn't get a throw off with the pressure. Maybe that was for the best, as that brings us to the end of this first half of play. Yeah, who has time for a halftime show with a trip to the Super Bowl on the line? Let's get back to it. That's fielded in the end zone. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. Here comes the Broncos offensive unit here as they'll have it first to begin this third quarter. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the third quarter.
I like the way you term that because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies. Try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
Let's see if they do just that. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and that's going to lead to a 3rd and 12. Now, that screen there on second down certainly didn't develop how they had hoped. Is that one they should have even tried, or is that one the quarterback sticks in his pocket?
I think the latter. I like what you said there because trying is one thing. We can second-guess just about every call. But in this case, when you realize it is broken down, just throw it at the feet of your intended receiver so that no one can pick it off, right? You don't have the ball tipped up in the air, and you come back and try and pick up the first down on third down. That way you don't lose any yardage.
And he's going to get across midfield and into Charger territory. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
11.
On play action, it's Garoppolo. Throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete. The free safety, Trey Boston, there to knock it away.
We've seen these defenses make enough opportunistic plays to keep this one low scoring. Flying around, making plays on the ball, and we see yet another errant throw as a result.
Got a man, it's Ross, complete. Second catch of this AFC title game, but he's got a first down. Nothing flashy there, the slant to the slot.
Oh, and the frustration for the defensive guys, because it's a quick play, and you know it's going to be a bang-bang play in terms of the throw and the catch, and then he's able to absorb the contact to complete it.
And he will find Ridley on the left side. And this play will be blown up. He'll lose yardage back at the 38. It'll wind up being a loss of 2. And that'll make it 2nd and 12.
They threw the screen to the perimeter, but to no benefit at all. Tackled behind the line of scrimmage for a loss of yardage.
The second down play, not much better than the first. Just a gain of 1 there.
Well, they certainly had success throwing the ball on this drive, and not as much running it as we just saw once again on that last play. Stopped after a very short gain. But I wouldn't abandon the run totally, because otherwise, pass rushers just tee off on your quarterback. Makes it very...
Man, it's caught at the 6-yard line. And down he goes, taking it inside the 10, just shy of the 5 at the 6.
A lot of running backs in the passing game, they're just used to check it down to them or maybe dump-off passes. But this guy, they use him to stretch the field, don't they?
He stretched it right there, turned it into a really nice game. Flushed out right. And that is caught. Touchdown, Denver. It's a 6-yard touchdown pass, and the Broncos will extend their lead. A good, sustained drive there in this third quarter, capping it off with a touchdown to give them a nice 2-score advantage.
It was actually a fun one to watch, wasn't it? I mean, for me, seeing the mix of what they did, how they moved the ball downfield, very sharp, too. Each and every play seemed to be executed with great dispatch.
This is fielded a couple yards deep. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. Now on the return here, we've got an injured player down there. We'll step aside and get a report when we come back to Denver. So Rivers will lead the Chargers up 1st and 10 at their own 24. Play action now. Rivers. It's complete right side to Benjamin. And he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds. First down yardage on the first play of the drive, 14 yards.
All that practice time came to fruition on that play. All those timing routes that they work on through training camp, OTAs, minicamp, and just regular season, they got it done on that one. An out cut, ball was delivered, and picked up the completion.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. To throw is Rivers. He sets to fire, trying to force it to Allen, and it's intercepted. Greedy Williams picks it off. And the return stops just a little bit shy of midfield at the 48-yard line. The intended receiver there, Allen.
That was a really nice interception. I think it illustrates the differences between playing man and playing zone. When you're in man, all you're focused on is the receiver in front of you. But when you're in zone, you're allowed to read the quarterback's eyes and go to the ball. That's exactly what happened on that play.
Here we go.
It'd be hard to say that a defense wouldn't be ready for a first down run. When you can gain that kind of yardage against a defense, it's really kind of geared to stop that play. Your confidence has to rise, and now you've actually opened up your playbook. You want to throw the ball now for play action, you're good to go.
And they'll get this just to the 47, 1-yard gain. To throw, it's Garoppolo. They'll set up a screen for Breida. And he will have a first down here at about the 40. And third quarter here, you've got the lead. This is where that strong run game can really benefit you. Stayed in bounds there, kept the clock going.
I like all the points you just made there. And if you throw the football and it's incomplete, now you've stopped the clock and you've helped out the guys on the other side of the ball. So keep it in the hands of those runners. Keep moving it. Keep grinding clock.
And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be second down. If this defense wants to stay in this ballgame, they've got to start ending some drives. That helps.
And they have to look ahead at what they expect.
And he's going to be sacked. They sack him back right at the midfield stripe. Joey Bosa picks up his second sack of the afternoon.
That's his second sack of the game. And the best defensive ends, they do their homework as much as offensive guys do. They know how to beat the offensive lineman across from them, what moves they need to do to set them up. This guy's been pretty good at it all game long.
Oh, the big play's going to get even bigger as penalty flags are down, and I believe they're going to get a face mask penalty tacked on. And I know it's hard in live action, but you've got to keep your hands away from the face. That's a 15-yard penalty.
You work on it all the time, making sure your target area is lower and trying to keep your hands away from the face mask so you don't get the big penalty.
And this will probably be the last play of the quarter.
Third quarter of play with the score Broncos 14, Chargers 3.
1 quarter remains until we crown the AFC champion. And that'll do it for the end of the second quarter. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. A good chance now to put this game on ice. This is 1st and goal. Here's Lindsey. And he'll be stopped up after only a couple of yards as he gets it down to the 5.
That run didn't get very far, and I think when you're looking at his dimensions, he's a little bit on the smaller side. He's counting on the big guys up front to escort him in, and they couldn't create any kind of space for him, could they?
Yeah, didn't get the push they needed. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down.
Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the 4th quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there, and now they need to repeat that. And this is caught for a Bronco touchdown. from 6 yards away. And the Broncos use the short field to their advantage as they cash in for 6. Well, they've been part of the cream of the crop in the AFC all season. It's becoming more and more evident that they're going to get a shot to play for that Super Bowl title.
The momentum has been building, and you mentioned how well they've played throughout the season. It's all come together for them, and they are really laser-focused on being that team to represent in the Super Bowl.
Yeah, they have been dominant in this one. And as we see so frequently here in Colorado, that one over the end line, so it'll come out to the 25. Phillip Rivers and his Chargers about ready to take over again. And that interception that ended their previous drive likely also ended any shot they had at victory.
Yeah, long road back from here, no doubt about that one, but let's face it, if you're going to go out there and compete, you want to try and end on a strong note, don't you?
Absolutely. It won't end in a victory like you said, but they can maybe take something positive out of this one. And he's going to be intercepted a third time. Sua Cravens with a pick. And he'll bring this one back to the 29. Allen, the intended receiver.
Well, this defensive pressure has been constant all game long. The pass rush, the coverage, they've all been excellent, and now they'll tack on an interception here as this one continues to slip just further and further out of hand.
On first down, it's Lindsey. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line.
Well, forget about finding a lane there. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. Probably fortunate he was able to hold on to the football.
Here we go.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11.
Push him back. Push him back.
On second down, a run with Breida. And only able to muster a couple down to about the 27.
Brandon, one thing about blitzes, they really confuse offensive linemen at times, and what you have to do is lock in on the guy right in front of you. If you don't, you saw the end result. Defensive tackle ended up making the play.
The Broncos on third down. They've been tough to stop. 8 for 10 so far. This is 3rd and 9. Now it's Lindsey. And he's not going to get anywhere close to the marker as they'll stop him well short of the yellow line. Just a gain of 2 there, and it's going to bring up a 4th down. Now Brandon McManus for the Bronco field goal. Right hash mark, a 42-yard attempt. The kick by McManus is good. And that will extend their lead even further. So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the 4th.
And you know in this league, you can never... And now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
After splitting the uprights, McManus to kick it away. So out now comes the offense back onto the field. And last time, 1 play interception. So this offense, they should be fresh.
That's a good way of putting it. And I can't wait to see what they decide to do with play calling. Because a 1-play drive where you throw an interception, a lot of people think the very next time out, run the football, don't give him a chance.
Maybe play action.
I think maybe you go play action, show your quarterback, get a little confidence in him, and let him fling another one.
And he's going to get a good gain of 9 here, up to the 34. Give him 9 there on the first down completion. Those short little routes probably going to be open. The defense, they'll let those happen, especially when they can make an inbounds tackle.
Yeah, where's Coach Madden when you need him? He always talked about taking what the defense gives you, but sometimes you have to know when you have to take more. That was one of those situations.
Looked like a pretty good, safe play right there. No, he's had trouble with the interceptions in this game there. Hits his guy out in the flat.
Yeah, so many times we hear quarterbacks and offensive coordinators talk about in your progressions, you're either throwing the touch.
He'll be brought down by the Broncos. It's a sack. Bradley Chubb, he's the one that got home and takes him down for a loss of 9. And on that one, the protection just broke down.
You've got to have that leverage, don't you? We always talk about low man wins in the running game for an offensive lineman versus a defensive lineman. It's essentially the same thing in pass protection. Get lower than that defensive lineman so that you can keep your balance and keep him away from your guy trying to throw the football.
That'll put him over 100 receiving yards now in this AFC title game. It's a first down.
Obviously, this has not been a banner game throwing the football. So what you got to do? You got to kind of down focus, don't you think? Find the tight end, take some easier completions.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Von Miller in there for sack number 127 in his great career, moving it past Kansas City Hall of Famer Derek Thomas on the all-time list. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Charger football as we welcome you back from the 2-minute warning. They're looking at second down now as they search for a consolation score. Now Rivers throw into the hands of Gordon. Calling a pickup of 7, and they're going to be staring at a third and long here. Throwing Rivers. Wide open, it's Allen, complete. You got the big lead. He's by himself, Keenan Allen. Touchdown, L.A. Keenan Allen, 45 yards. And the Chargers, they're able to cut into that deficit.
And that touchdown puts us in a position to have a discussion, doesn't it? Now it'll be a 2-score game after the conversion.
Yeah, I mean, there's no doubt with a 2-score game they're going to have to onside kick it. We'll just see if they've got a miracle up their sleeve.
And you wonder what onside kicks they're going to use and in what sequence if they hope to have a chance to win this game.
And the Broncos are going to get the football. They knew they needed a miracle. They had to have that onside kick. They didn't get it.
Well, as we knew, even before they put the toe to the leather on that one, their chances of getting that done, slim and none. And I do believe we saw Slim just leave the door, didn't we?
We did indeed. I think we're down to none. And the Chargers going to signal for the first of their timeouts. And they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the first down. Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. Here's a give to Lindsey. And he'll have a gain of 3 to the 33. Now the Chargers will use the second of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play. 3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. Another run by Lindsey. And he's going to have to protect the football and take his lumps here at this stage of the game as they stop him behind the line. Chargers going to use their third and final timeout as it comes with 1:15 left to go in the second half. On third down, a run from Breida. Slipped one tackle, but no more as he's knocked to the deck behind the line of scrimmage.
Face mask. Defense.
They're down here in the fourth, and that personal foul penalty is not going to help.
No, in these types of situations, players will tell you that's extra intensity. From where we sit, it's actually frustration, not a good play.
Maybe a critical mistake at this juncture is now they've got a 1st and 10.
Here we go, here we go, here we go. 180!
Brings up 2nd and 11.
Check down.
They will take a knee here and cue the celebrations. They are off to the Super Bowl.
Here we go, here we go.
And the crowd on its feet, and understandably so. They are Super Bowl bound after taking that knee.
How about the ability to celebrate not just winning a championship, but to do it with your fans on your home field? What a great collaboration for them all year long.
And with this win and an AFC championship, they have reached the most hallowed ground in all of sports.
That means they are the best in their conference. What an incredible feeling for this team to go through the entire season and come out on top and now go to the Super Bowl for the right to be called world champion.
And that'll close the books on the conference championship. For Charles Davis, myself, Brandon Gaudin, and our entire crew, we'll talk to you in 2 weeks from the Super Bowl.
about to make a play. Move the chains, tell them get about the way. Move the chains, I'm about to win the game. Move the chains, baby, tell them move the chains. I score up in the end zone, do my dance all on a hater. A mover and a shaker, you a novice, I'm a player. I'm from DC, but I'm running through and sacking like a raider. 2 chains on my neck, one for now and one for later. If we don't play fair, baby, we play for keeps. You can pass me up, this is not a bye week. I'm looking for a trophy competition, looking steep. Yeah, I'm training, I've been focused, I've been bombing from the deep. I'm like, move the chains, I'm about to make a play. Move the chains, tell them get about the way. Move the chains, I'm about to win the game. Move the chains, baby, tell them move the chains. Move the needle for the city like the championships. All my records go hard, this a champion hit. I've been working for this moment like I've been in the gym. Jumping all over hurdles, I'm evading the pit. Head to head with anybody, take them, I can shake them. I invite them to the fire, then I bake them, I'ma break them. I'm a Hall of Fame legend, they should go and hang my jersey. Made it for the work, I don't think they really heard me like. Move the chains, I'm about to make a play. Move the chains, tell them get about the way. Move the chains, I'm about to win the game. Move the chains, baby, tell them move the chains. Ain't no stopping me, ain't no topping me. I am up, #1 seed, ain't nobody popping up. Got a squad of gorillas from the jungle suited up. You kicking off against me, hope you ready, get it up. I be booted up, popping out a sprinter or a truck. Whole team chasing bags while they chasing us. Calling audible, I read the game, I think it's time to switch. You get hit, if I miss, then my teammates got the blitz, yeah. Move the chains, I'm about to make a play. Move the chains, tell them get about the way. Move the chains, I'm about to win the game. Move the chains, baby, tell them move the chains.
S-T-R-O. How many of y'all came to win? Oh, they asking my name, huh? You ready? S-T-R-O. I ain't come to play with you. Life challenging, but I wouldn't trade with you. It's early, I'm up. I can't spend the day with you. I'm minding my business. I ain't getting paid with you. My color bright. I ain't finna fade with you. Man, I gotta come clean like I'm made with you. I've been on my everybody drop when I drop. Look at shorty, she support ride. Lifting up, never not on my grind. New York City time. Another brother better, you will never find. I've been in my bag like groceries. Competition shouldn't take shots, take notes, please. Reporting live from the winning side. Ready to try, keep a different vibe. Is you down the ride, never tired. You will never know, you ain't never tried. Work it out, hit the gym, hit the field, hit the wind. Hey yo, I need that. Big chips, man, I need that. Hustle hard, on the job, you can see that. On my head is real good, we don't need your feedback. They clear the way with my crew coming through. What I do? Lace up the shoes, chase W's. What I do? Lace up the shoes, chase W's. Now what I do? Lace up the shoes, chase W's. Get the beats, leave it in the street, case on the news.
What I do? Lace up my shoes, chase W's. Great colored coops. Oh no, I can't be number 2. MVP the league most valuable. They sweet as apple juice. Talking trophies, I didn't grab the few. Can't match this attitude. I wear my heart on my sleeve, please. I move like the wind, can't catch this breeze, freeze. Stop you in your tracks, there's not no preseason. We seeking W's like Tupac used to throw up. Forget it, might as well forfeit. Your team shouldn't even show up. What you wanna be when you grow up? They used to ask me. Naturally, I chose an athlete. Competition never matched me. We ain't go together like camouflage and polka dots. Focus on your position, just know your spot. Sure, don't stop. It's a long season. They planning on winning for the wrong reasons. Trying to get my number retired. Can't let these frauds beat us. I figured out the recipe. Never let opponents get the best of me. I'm focused on my legacy.
Big chips, man, I need that. Hustle hard, on the job, you can see that. On my head is real good, we don't need your feedback. They clear the way with my crew coming through. What I do? Lace up the shoes, chase W's. What I do? Lace up the shoes, chase W's. Now what I do? Lace up the shoes, chase W's. Get the beats, leave it in the street, case on the news.
Up this magic. With the gang, we ball out, it can get tragic. All we got, we gon' let you have it. Stuck in my ways, think I need to change my habits. What would you do if you were me and didn't have it? Look in the mirror, now I'm feeling like a savage. Tell my son I love him, for him I'ma make it happen. Now my dream's reality, not going back to. You say that you proud of me, I turn my back, you laughing. Now I hit the scene, they like lights, camera, action. Living in a dream, now my music, they be blasting. Step out, I'm a star, always in the latest fashion. Had to set the bar, try to they catch me lacking. Bank account for my son, he won't have to struggle. You can see it in my eyes, all I do is hustle. They tried to knock me off my feet, I'm ready to rumble. Feel like I ain't ate in weeks, working off the muscle. Oh yeah, oh my, we ride for my brothers, no lie. All you can die, never wrong, they right. I ain't changing my side, yeah, we in it for life. When I'm in magic, with the gang, we ball out, it can get tragic. All we got, we gon' let you have it. Stuck in my ways, think I need to change my habits. What would you do if you were me and didn't have it? Look in the mirror, now I'm feeling like a savage. Tell my son I love him, for him I'ma make it happen. Now my dream's reality, not going back to. You say that you proud of me, I turn my back, you laugh. Hey, how could you lie to my face? People claim that they be loyal, they be taking up space. See my broski lose his heart when he was fighting that case. Took so many yells, I'm not going back to those days. I'ma treat you how you treat me, do you like how it tastes? Shawty, use up, can't treat you like my ace. I got way too many problems to be worried, I'm straight. Me and Craig had to watch for the Jakes. On the road, this crazy, I get 80 a show. Say my money, stack it up, it look like I'm foreign cars, driving fast, I never done this before. Yeah, drown out my problems, let me when I'm in magic. With the gang, we ball out, it can get tragic. All we got, we gon' let you have it. Stuck in my ways, think I need to change my habits. What would you do if you were me and didn't have it? Look in the mirror, now I'm feeling like a savage. Tell my son I love him, for him I'ma make it happen. Now my dream's reality, not going back to.
Hello, everybody. I'm Jonathan Coachman, and this is Super Bowl Sunday on EA Sports. Up next, we've got what should be an intriguing matchup between the New Orleans Saints and the Denver Broncos. With that, it's time for Super Bowl 54, and we'll send you now to Miami, standing by to call their fourth Super Bowl together. Here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, much appreciated, Coach, as we welcome all of you to our exclusive coverage of the National Football League on EA Sports. Tonight, it's all on the line. We play for the Lombardi Trophy. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, and it is our extreme privilege to be on hand for the Super Bowl. And I can't help but look down on this field, partner, and think about the history of this game and all the great players, all the great teams that have stood on the field for this moment. So special.
This game is so historic that while we call it the Super Bowl now, that wasn't even the name of the first couple. It was the AFL, NFL World Championship game before the Super Bowl really took hold. And think about the Green Bay Packers winning the first two that got us kicked off and started towards where we are today.
And with the whole world watching, at the end of this game, at the end of tonight, one of these two sides, they get to etch their name in NFL immortality.
No doubt about it. They hold up the ultimate symbol of victory in this league, the Lombardi Trophy.
The first Super Bowl of a new decade, Super Bowl 54, is underway. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll wind up getting an extra couple yards here for his trouble as he'll bring this one out to the 27.
Ready? 5-8. You get block me. You get block me. You get block me.
Now a first carry for Latavius Murray. And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. It's probably a pretty good sign here on the opening drive if your guys from the secondary are coming up and spilling things in the backfield.
How about the adrenaline and aggressiveness that led his eyes to the backfield to run up there and make that tackle, setting a tone early for his defense.
He gets them a little over half of what they needed. Now they're looking at a 3rd and 5. And that looked like some pretty easy yardage there right up the gut.
And he's a guy that has some height to him. So when you don't have to drop a shoulder or create or get through contact or trash, makes it a lot easier to stay upright, see the field, and make a run as we just saw there. Well, sometimes our pregame meetings do pay off, don't they? What do the guys in the locker room call him?
Well, they said it with a chuckle. They called him Old Reliable.
Yeah, that means he doesn't move quite as fast as he used to, but he still knows all the tricks, doesn't he? Even that little gentle push-off in order to get open, he finds a way to pick up a first down.
So not quite a first down just yet as they come up on 2nd and less than a yard. Breeze now to throw. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And brought down, but able to get it to their 30-yard line. A gain of 13. It's a first down. And they're getting him involved early.
You feel like they saw something on tape, or they just have a sense with him because he's had a good week of practice or something in that area that they want him involved, just as you said. They want him to touch it either in the running.
And he'll take it into the end zone for the Saints touchdown. Latavius Murray, 30 yards.
Here we go. 54, Mike. 54 is Mike. Check. Watch 54. Watch 54. And come on.
Now the first carry here for Phillip Lindsay. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
On any explosive run, you can almost feel the ground shaking, and that's from the offensive linemen creating space for their runners. I had an old coach tell me before, they always told his runners, run around the offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking so you don't trip and fall when it happens in a game.
A gain of just a yard, but it's a first down.
I know what you're thinking out there. I know a lot of you are thinking, take a shot downfield. It's a great spot for it. I'd say maybe later in the game, momentum build. Get a first down, pick it up, and keep moving.
He was a 1,000-yard receiver during the regular season, and that's his first catch of this Super Bowl, and he picks up the first down. Now it's Breida, and he picks up about 6 as he gets this down to the 41.
Let's talk a little football 101 here, because one of the keys to advancing the ball downfield, success on first down. Huge difference, as we know, between 2nd and 4 and 2nd and 8 and 9.
This is Breida, and he'll take this one down to about the 40. Tackled there by Alex Anzalone.
But when you go from 2nd to 4 to 3rd and 3, that just tells you who won that battle on the last play, huh?
Yeah, first round went to the offense, second round the defense. And he's taken down inside the 30. A Bronco first down there, 12 yards on the play. Nice job keeping that opening drive alive, and they're in plus territory, that part of the field where you really want to convert on 3rd down. They did.
Big time pickup for them, and now I think the aggressive play callers think to themselves, this part of the field, I take my shot at the end zone. Because the closer you get to the end zone, the field gets condensed. Makes it a lot tougher to run those routes. You still got a chance to actually run past people right now. Take your shot at the end zone early in the down and distance count.
That is caught inside the 5. 23 yards the pickup there.
His passing's been on point on this drive, hasn't it? Been very accurate, got the ball downfield, gained nice chunks of yardage, but now, in this situation, the field is really condensed, partner. So if he's going to throw the football, that would be pinpoint here.
I was going to ask you about that. Field shrinks, has to be sharper, but it's been a good opening drive so far.
Now they just want to see if they can cap it off with the bell ringer and put it in the end zone.
From the 2 now, 2nd and goal. Now Garoppolo. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Give the sack to David Onyemata, the product of Nigeria by way of Canada. Garoppolo now on 3rd and goal. To the end zone, but knocked away and incomplete. The linebacker, Demario Davis, got a hand in to break that one up. So it's been a long drive. They've held the ball for quite a while. Now what do you do here?
Well, to me, at this stage, after this drive, this close to the goal line, 3 points would be a letdown. I'm going for it here.
Now they go for it on 4th down, but that pass is knocked away and incomplete. So their first drive of the game already trailing, having given up points. A little surprised that they went for it, right?
Maybe the big guy, the head coach, senses this is going to be a shootout type of a game. That they've got to match them point for point, as opposed to, hey, we'll get them later. Maybe he just has that sense, and that's why he decided to go for it there. If you're a selfish player and you're throwing the ball, you're cool with the completion. Maybe not so cool with the yardage loss, though. Huh?
Yeah, you went backwards on the yardage. Hey, kind of works like a sack. And, he coughs up the football near his own goal line. He was looking for Mohamed Sanu there. But now it'll be third down. They'd like to avoid punting from their own end zone so they could use something here on third down.
Here we go. Check it back.
On third down, Murray. And he's not going to get out of the end zone. Murray is taken down for the safety. And, Charles, at some point, you can't keep worrying about big play. Can this be perfect? You just have to get the ball out of the end zone.
And in the offensive huddle, that was discussed when they called the play. Just get out of the end zone. But you know what's interesting? A lot of the times in the defensive huddle, they actually call a set and then say at the end of it, get a safety. So it's preached, it's coached, it's thought about.
Here's the Denver offense now as they get set to take over here. And last time, they had it 4th and goal, rolled the dice, didn't get it. Now they've got to put that behind them, try to put together another drive.
A simple tip of the cap, a nod of the head to the defense. Congratulations, you got us last time. But you didn't hold us the whole time. We got down to position. We were able to be in position to score. Let's go ahead and attack again. Continue to have that kind of confidence. Not worry about the one play that didn't allow him to get into the end zone.
This time they'll be trying to get it into the end zone. We'll see what they do.
Now this is where field awareness comes into play. He's getting perilously close to his own goal line. And after that sack, backed up to his own 2.
There's Garoppolo to throw. They've got his man complete. That one nearly 30 yards, 29 officially. That's 6'4". Green can be so tough to cover.
Really can. When I watch him play, the word that comes to mind for me is willowing. And I mean that in the biggest compliment I can give. His ability to do what the receivers coach talk about always, uncover at the end of routes. Even if a guy's right there in his shirt, he finds a way to come up with the ball.
That's over 40 yards of movement with those last 2 plays. Garoppolo now, first down throw. And he slings one that's incomplete.
All right, that one fell incomplete there, but the best quarterbacks, they'll miss on 40% of their throws somewhere in that neighborhood, similar to a great hitter in baseball who's going to fail 7 out of 10 times and still have a great year. In this case, you want perfection, but way better that it hits the ground instead of going to an opposite color jersey.
Another throw on second down, and this one incomplete as well.
Anytime a ball's thrown in the middle of the field, it's popped up in the air, I expect someone to catch it. Doesn't matter whether it's offense or defense, because there's usually a great amount of bodies in that part of the field. In this case, no one came up with it.
His first catch of this Super Bowl, and it'll be good for a first down.
Quarterbacks love slant routes because the receivers are breaking right into their line of vision, and receivers love them as well because they're getting the ball on the move and able to catch it and try and get upfield and gain additional yardage.
They'll run on first down. Lindsey. Tackle made there by Mason Foster.
That play reminded me a lot of a former teammate of mine. We used to call him the trash man. His ability to sit through.
Blitz coming, and down he goes. A.J. Klein coming in hard there on the blitz, and he gets him 7 yards behind the line of scrimmage.
I'm starting to feel for that quarterback back there. I mean, you know me. Normally, don't have a lot of empathy for the QB, right? In this case, definitely. He's been under constant duress this entire game. I don't know how he's surviving back there.
And to think, there's still a long way to go in this football game. Meanwhile, on third down, they take a shot at the end zone, but it's incomplete.
They converted twice on third down that drive already, but couldn't make it a third. We always talk about in-game adjustments. How about what the defense did there, able to shut them down on that attempt.
Throwing now is Garoppolo. Open man is Metcalf. He's got it. How about them biting off 15 yards there on the fourth down attempt and keeping the drive alive?
Brandon, I have one word for you after that completion for a first down.
Lucky?
Analytics.
Well, the analytics say you punt the football there.
So we're changing the analytics as we go, right? What a big-time play for them, and really took a big-time chance.
Yeah, big-time first-half chance. 2 minutes even on the clock in the first half of Super Bowl 54. Coming up at halftime, I'll go from one personality, that's you, Charles Davis, to another one in Orlando, the coach. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL. You and Jonathan Coachman both larger than life.
No doubt about it.
But you're stuck with me in this booth,
yes,
and he's miles away and smiling.
And happy.
He'll end up getting 5 out of that, but now they're looking at third down. Throw left side, complete to Ingram. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a first and goal.
Now, how about that play? He took a possible negative and turned it into positive yardage and slid down to avoid taking a big shot. Excellent job getting down and avoiding the big hit.
So it's first and goal and a great... And he is into the end zone for a Denver touchdown. A 7-yard touchdown grab, and the Broncos have taken the lead. Getting your back involved, what's the importance there in the passing game?
Well, oftentimes you can create mismatches because who's going to cover him, and you get him run after the catch, and off he goes.
And into the end zone. After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Now this offensive unit ready to see what they can do here. We've got a little more than a minute to go. I think the offense is saying, hey, all we need here, a field goal, and we can take the lead into intermission.
Well, I think that's what the goal should be. Give your kicker a chance to give you those 3 points. But in the meantime, if someone falls asleep on the defensive side, you might take advantage of that and get a big shot downfield too.
Looked like he had a couple of different options as far as who to throw to on that play. And who am I to say this, but I'm not sure he made the right decision.
Well, the window of opportunity is always going to be small in the NFL. That's why those quarterbacks who make quick decisions and have quick releases have the most success in this league. I think the best offenses love to get the ball to their running backs in open space because they have the ability to make people miss, and they also have the ability to run over people. And if you do that throughout the game, after a while, they might just run through some of those tackles. Go a long way.
Well, we saw him shed a nice tackle on that play. Here's Breeze to throw. Then he will find a man here as Thomas comes open. The Saints going to call the first of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Again, they'll throw with Breeze. It's brought in right side by Ginn. Now we'll get a quick timeout called by New Orleans, number 2, as the clock's going to stop with 47 seconds to go in half number 1. Into the red zone, it's Breeze. This is caught, and he can't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. A good gain again. That's now 31 yards combined on those last 2 plays. I respect both sides on that play, CD. For him to be able to hold on to that football and the impressive tackle, wow. Now Breeze wants the football. It's picked up by the Broncos. And he will score. Touchdown, Denver. And what we just saw, very, very rare. We only had 5 of those in the first 50 Super Bowls.
The biggest stage, the biggest game, and we just saw it happen again. Extraordinary.
The defense has been good, and they were good again there. McManus's point after is good, and that makes this a 9-point game. So here's the kickoff now as they'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. That's fielded in the end zone. And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee, and they'll bring the football out to the 25. Likely time for one final snap as they start out 1st and 10. And with time running short here, they'll simply take a knee, and that should do it for half number 1.
You ready?
So we've reached half. So the halftime show of the Super Bowl abbreviated, ready to go for the second half. The never tedious halftime show behind us, and now it's back to football as we get going again in Super Bowl 54. And the decision to bring it out, a good one, as he's up a yard or two shy of the 30. Here comes the Broncos offensive unit here as they'll have it first to begin this third quarter. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had the ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace because you are looking for some separation in this ball game.
The adjustment to the adjustment.
Without a doubt. Show them one thing, hit them with something else.
From the 45 on second down, Garoppolo. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. That one good for a first down pickup of 18 yards.
When you run a screen pass really well, you got to like the look of it because so many parts come together to make it work well. The offensive linemen where they're faking people out, the back slipping out there, catching the football, then all of them going together as one unit downfield. A really nice pickup.
Another strong gain on the last two plays. They've moved it a combined 33 yards.
It's a game of matchups, and that's why you take your receivers and move them around a bunch, especially your best guys. And when they work out of the slot, you often hear the coaches talk about how great it is because it gives you a two-way go. You can break out or you can break in. That makes it hard to defend. That was impressive to me because while it was a pass play, they still rallied to the football like they were filling running lanes, and they were able to put the receiver on the ground.
They run with Breida, and not even back to the line of scrimmage this time as they're on him quickly once more. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here, and they'll be facing a 3rd and 12.
Wow, that play got shut down in a hurry.
As soon as the snap came, you can see defensively they were just closing in. That was going nowhere. And the Saints pressure gets him. Brought down for a sack. Cameron Jordan coming in to drop him for a loss of 8, and it also brings up 4th.
You know, on these types of plays, we're always looking to assess blame. Okay, where did it break down? Sometimes it's just a great play.
These kickers now, it used to be that a 50-plus yarder was cause for celebration. Now, seemingly automatic.
Yeah, isn't it funny when we prepare for a game, when you look at the backgrounds of these kickers, it's interesting, isn't it, to find out they were all-state quarterbacks, receivers, defensive backs, all-state wrestlers, right? Baseball players. We're finding athletes all along, and now they're just specialists putting it through the posts.
Now the attention turns to the Saints offense getting ready for their first possession of the second half. They're down in this game, a chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here. Now Breeze lost the football. Got to imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on second down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18. They'll run it here. This is Buck Allen. It'll be a gain of about 5, but they're left with a 3rd and still about 12 to go. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Working from the gun, it's Breeze. Open man is Michael Thomas. And they nearly get this all the way to midfield. Mark him down at the 49. A good pickup there, 26 yards. On 1st down, Murray. And they go backwards here, losing yardage back at the 48-yard line. Now it looks like we've got a Bronco that's banged up on the play. We'll get an update when we come back to Miami. On 2nd down now, it's Allen. And he's got it across midfield and into Denver territory. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it. The Saints on 3rd down. They've been good, 3 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 7. Now a third down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete. We saw this a lot in the first half, and it continues. These receivers just not able to get much separation.
So that means they have to win the 50-50 balls. They've got to go up with the defender and find a way to start coming down with them.
And this time, contact and another incomplete pass.
Let's go, baby. Let's go.
Here comes Jimmy Garoppolo now to lead his offense back out there. He's been pretty solid, pretty consistent, just the one touchdown pass, but I think he's managed the game well, no?
I would agree with you, and that's what you're looking for out of your field leader, making sure that you're playing well and not making any big mistakes. Oftentimes, that's how you're judged. How big a mistake and when it occurs. No interception so far. They'll like that.
I just want you to know that you agreeing with me, that's going to get me through this third and fourth quarter. Are you touched? He's patting his heart, boys and girls. He's touched.
Respect.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Green with a catch left side. And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. 1 quarter remains here in the Super Bowl. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Throwing on first is Garoppolo. Wide open receiver complete. And all the way home for a Broncos score. A.J. Green, 55 yards. And the Broncos will add on to their lead. When A.J. Green's on the field, something exciting usually happens, and that was certainly exciting.
Superior route runner, superior hands, superior body control, but I love the way he reacts to the football in the air. Finds it, locates it, and goes and gets it before the defensive backs can react.
And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Saints coming out now to take the field. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the punter no longer exists for their offense. And that's how they have to treat this drive.
They need points.
Big time.
First play of the drive, a success, 19 yards. Took just one play to move all the way to the 44 as they try again on first down. Shotgun now for Breeze. Looking left side and completing it to Thomas. A breakaway for Michael Thomas. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, New Orleans. Michael Thomas, 56 yards. And the Saints make some inroads here to that deficit. As a former DB, you might not like to see that, but from a wide receiver's perspective, those are the plays they dream of.
Correct on both counts, all right? Because once he took off, I mean, let's face it, that should have been done in Big Sky Country. Aren't any speed limits out there? And off he went. Glad I wasn't the one trying to chase him.
Then he'll take this across the 25, a couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line. Now the Broncos offense, they get set to head back onto the field. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline. Because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you score points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there. Well, the strategy was evident there. Get it to your tight end and make it a one-on-one play with a cornerback. Who's usually going to win that one?
The tight end, but not there.
Not in this situation. How about the corner defeating that lock?
And he's taken down here by the Saints. Lightning speed that time from the corner. Marshawn Lattimore getting the sack. And they weren't in zone coverage. They were in man, and each man did his job.
And that looked like vintage, old-school coverage, didn't it? Man coverage reminded me of an old Raiders team that had a Hall of Famer at one corner and a Defensive Player of the Year at the other, and they just locked people down.
Now throwing on third down there, but he cannot connect. Critical play in this football game, because if they pick up the first there, that clock keeps rolling.
Has to be a little frustrating for them because they know that they pick up a first down there and continue to eat away at the clock, really increases their chances of closing this one out. Now they're likely going to have to give the football up and sweat it out on the sideline.
How does the Saints offense now as they get ready to take over here? And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete.
They went with a dime look on defense. Two extra defensive backs on the field and covered up essentially every blade of grass. That allowed them to disrupt the play.
They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete. The Saints on third down. They've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. This is 3rd and 10. Here's Breeze. And now a fumble. The ball's out. And the defense not able to get it. From a defensive perspective, what's that moment like when you realize the ball is loose?
It is a moment where all concentration goes right to the football. This is something you've talked about in all your preparation for the game. You probably talked about this training camp. Knock the ball free, take it away from the other team, and now you have that chance. There's a little bit of deflation when they end up recovering it.
They knocked it free, but couldn't take it away. Now Breeze. And to the right side here, it's Allen. And he works it past the 30, almost to the 25. Another nice gain, 16 yards there, and a first down again. He's having a nice game through the air. His decision-making's been really good, solid there again. Just seeing nothing downfield goes underneath. Nice game.
How about the patience? Because when you're having a big game through the air, you're looking for those chunk plays, those big ones downfield. Instead, as you noted, takes the check down, dumps it off, gains good yardage anyway. Really well executed.
From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. That's going to be caught at the 10-yard line. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up second down. The clock showing 2 minutes even in what's been a memorable Super Bowl 54. So it's Saints football as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Throwing again on second down. Breeze. That is caught at the 7-yard line. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's third down. To throw, it's Breeze. So there on that play, offensively, they ran the crossing route. Defense was in zone coverage. So as a former DB, how tough is it to defend that?
It's really difficult because your natural inclination is to chase the receiver.
And this is caught now for a late touchdown. So hold everything here. This one's not over yet. Okay, game on. Don't go anywhere yet. You got a one-score game now. Probably going to rely on the onside kick coming up.
Yeah, they have to. It's not a high percentage play, but it's better than not having a chance at all. And that's when you put your leapers and your flyers on one side, get that high hop, and hope that one of the guys can come up with it.
And on the other side, you get that hands team ready.
No doubt about it.
And the Broncos are going to get the football. Well, fourth quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
From midfield, here's Garoppolo. And Green with a catch left side. Yeah, he will go out right near the 35-yard line. 15 yards on the play, first down.
Well, they got the yardage they needed there. Picked up the first down, got out of bounds. How about the urgency that they have, as well as to understand where they are in the field?
On first down, here's Breida. Now we'll get a quick timeout called by New Orleans, number 2. As it comes with exactly a minute to go in the football game. The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. On second down, a run with Lindsey. Now the Saints will use their 3rd and final timeout as they get it with under a minute to go now in the football game.
Here we go.
The win for the Broncos, seemingly assured. They go down to a knee. So on now is Brandon McManus. He has hit from as far away as 57, but that was in Denver. He made his first attempt, this from 45. Now the Broncos are going to call the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. So on now is Brandon McManus. He has hit from as far away as 57, but that was in Denver. He made his first attempt, this from 45. And this one is right down Broadway. And that'll push the lead up to 8. From a defensive perspective, though, I think maybe they're saying, hey, we did what we needed to do, kept this a one-score game.
Yeah, without a doubt, because they were able to bleed some time off the clock, right? Put themselves in a good position, but it's not out of reach yet, okay? Being able to hold them to a field goal means that they do have a chance to come back and win this game.
Ready? Yellow lady, yellow lady. Hey, come on now, come on now.
Back to throw. Fighting through pressure. And that is incomplete. 2 seconds left on the clock. He was trying to get it that time to Ted Ginn. And that'll bring up second down. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. They'll look to throw. He's going to let it fly. And it's incomplete. So their final drive comes up empty. And with that, the ball game is over. And the Lombardi Trophy goes west. And it goes to the Denver Broncos, your Super Bowl champs. For the victors getting to hoist that Lombardi Trophy, you know, we've talked to guys that have done it, and they say there's no better feeling in sports.
I don't know how there can be. The journey to get to this game is incredible. And then to finally break through and win it when all eyes are on this game alone because there's nothing else going on, that's just got to be absolutely amazing. The task, incredible. The accomplishment, forever.
And they are the Super Bowl champs. The Lombardi Trophy is theirs, and so are bragging rights for an entire season. And what a season it has been. Feels like we have been there every step of the way. Our entire crew doing a wonderful job. Thanks to my broadcast partner, Charles Davis. For all those guys, I'm Brandon Gaudin signing off. We'll talk to you next season right here on EA Sports.
Honey, I dash, got it on smash, foot on the gas. I will not crash, they will not stop me. Tenfold, copy, end zone, watch me celebrate. I'm cocky, I do my dance, jump in the stands. No man, man, oh, there with the hands. Thought he could guard me, I ruin they plans. I do what I can't catch up cause they lacking the stamina. Way too advanced to be playing with amateurs. Stay on attack when they tackle like damager. They react and play it back on the camera. Hot boy, just consider me flammable. Sure shot, I got all the intangibles. Need a leash, I'm a beast, I'm an animal. Eat the competition up like a Hannibal. Know the game like I wrote up the manual. I do weekly what you do on the annual. MVP, that decision unanimous. Big dogs, I don't think they can handle it. Battlefield, it's just me and my warriors. Guaranteed we emerging victorious. Years, blood, sweat, tears, it's glorious. I remember when they always ignoring us. Dash, got it on, smash, foot on the gas. I will not crash, they will not stop me. Tenfold, stop me, end zone, watch me celebrate. I'm cocky, I do my dance, jump in the stands, jump in the man. Oh, deal with the hands, thought he could guard me. I ruin they plans. I do what I want, they do what they can. Got it on, smash, foot on the gas. I will not crash, 100 yard dash, 100 yard dash, 100 yard dash, 100 yard dash, 100 yard dash. They slip on the team that they owe me. I need a ring and a trophy. I say I'm the best cause I am. There's no need in keeping it low key. I can drop on the D like a turkey. I run straight to the D like a train. This year we ain't taking no losses. It's all about making the game. I hear a lot of trash talk. He call himself making a name. I put on the jets. The coach will regret even letting me stay in the game. Team morale took a tumble. Next time be humble. I'm the lion in the jungle. You just try not to fumble. Rumble, young man, rumble. Never slip nor stumble. I take off, poof, magic. Now watch me juke through the traffic. Footwork fantastic. Dominating every facet. Treat the pocket like plastic. Here come the blitz, pass it. Got it on, smash. Foot on the gas. I will not crash. 100 yard dash. 100 yard dash. 100 yard dash. 100 yard dash. 100 yard dash.
Back up. I had to get back up. I can't take no loss. You better call back up. I'm running it down to finish. I don't play, get down to get it. Talk about that, come slide, I'm with it. Better see me now, on God, I'm lit it. I know that you tryna go big. Better run up the cash, you love to spend. Better kill it and did it again. But the intent, no, I'm down to win. I can't feel bad about it. I know you sad about it.
Know you sad about it. Know you sad about it. I just got bags from Prada. Rolling up, I'm in a brand new model. It'll be here tomorrow. I don't got fears or problems. Only got real ones round them. Only got. It take a week to count it. Then I'm back up. Name the place and we pack up. Running these racks up. 100 meals a week after. Dying from laughter. When they come to handles, never had one. With a bad one. Made a meal today and they my last one.
Oh, I had to get back up. I can't take no loss. You better call back up. I'm running it down to finish. I don't play, get down to get it. Talk about that, come slide, I'm with it. Better see me now, on God, I'm lit it. I know that you tryna go big. Better run up the cash, you love to spend. Better kill it and did it again. But the intent, no, I'm down to win. I can't feel bad about it. I know you sad about it.
Know you sad about it. Know you sad about it.
I'm moving too fast, I can't stop. Wiping it down with the paint hot. Left hand on the wheel. I'm closing the top on the raindrop. I'm keeping the game in the headlock. When throwed and blinded my dreadlock. In the end zone with the mad dot. One phone call, get it dead stop. I feel like I own the season. Say one thing, just give me a reason. Know you're mad, I'm undefeated. Top dog, making it even. Oh, I had to get back up. I had to get back up. I can't take no loss. You better call back up. I'm running it down to finish. I don't play, get down to get it. Talk about that, come slide, I'm with it. Better see me now, on God, I'm lit it. I know that you just go big. Run up the cash, you love to spend. Better kill it and did it again. But the intent, no, I'm down to win. I can't feel bad about it. Know you sad about it.
Know you sad about it. Know you sad about it.
That's a big number.
Hey, foreign cars, foreign seats with the foreign leather. Foreign number, put the card in the ATM in the sad era. Yeah, flex mode, this is Southwest, this is jet. I ain't gotta shut the cell off, cause the iPhone don't got a jet mode. Bad speed presto. If you wanna come, let's go. We ain't going nowhere special. I just wanna see more Modesto. Hit your thought, I'ma catch those. Mexican, dummy pesos. Hit your sus, I'll replace those. Number save, no name though. We need more, tell them we need more. Putting numbers on the board, let them keep a score. Hey, 16 cars in my front yard. Hey, 30 on my wrist, bullet point to God.
Big numbers, big numbers. 100-minute bag, that's a big number. Big numbers, big numbers. Whole team counted, that's a big number.
Yeah, wrist man, check the wrist man, got him hot. Hey, man can't ball like this, man. Lord, past the big skin when he stretch a distance. I'm talking a few 100,000 yards, just on your 5th grand. Run it up, 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 count it up. Hey, hundreds and 50s and 20s, no 5s and no singles, don't count on them. Hey, she wanted like me cause her like she can count on him. She tried to be nosy and hit up my ex, she like, girl, you can count on him.
Hey, we need more, tell them we need more. Putting numbers on the board, let them keep a score. Hey, 16 cars in my front yard. Hey, 30 on my wrist, bullet point to God.
Big numbers, big numbers. 100-minute bag, that's a big number. Big numbers, big numbers. Whole team counted, that's a big number. Big numbers, big numbers. 100-minute bag, that's a big number. Big numbers, blue hunts. Whole team counting, that's a big number.
Y'all already know what time it is, huh? Playing skills, you did.
Playing skills.
Ice on the wrist, car on the wrist, hole in the wrist, watch how I flip, watch how I whip, I'm in the whip, hole in the wrist, I never switch, ice on the wrist, car on the wrist, hole in the wrist, watch how I flip, watch how I whip, I'm in the whip, hole in the wrist, I never switch, ice on the wrist, I get the money but I never switch. They saying you switch cause you won't get it. You know they came from the bottom and now we is lit. You was lit, I gotta get it, I gotta get it. You hating cause ice on the wrist. My bitch, you wanna be famous, They act like they made us, You know I'm icy in Vegas, This for the that hate us, I make a lot of new money, When the not savers, You be liking my flavor, I think it's cause ice on the wrist, on the wrist, on the wrist. Watch out, please. I never switch, I never switch.
Since I blew, they all on my. Hey, back then, didn't know I exist. Don't touch my cup, you know how I sip. Hey, got your long. Say I made her when I showed out my whip. Hey, spent about 10 on my 50. Ex slick, then he with the. Back then, used to out the zip. Blow out his back, then dip. Got a whole party all on the ship. All these 4 things pull out the VIP. Suck turn up, baby, pour out the milk. So you know how I drip. Crip.
P-P-P-P-P-P-P-P-P-P-P-P-P-P-P-P-P-P-P-P-P-P-P-P-P-P-P-P-P-P-P-P-P-P-P-P-P-P-P-P-P-P-P-P-P-P-P-P-P-P-P-P-P-P-P-P-P-P-P-P-P-P-P-P-P-P-P-P-P-P-P-P-P-P-P-P-P-P-P-P-P-P-P-P-P-P-P-P-P-P-P-P-P-P-P-P-P-P-P-P-P-P-P-P-P-P-P-P-P-P-P-P-P-P-P-P-P-P-P-P-P-P-P-P-P-P-
bring the limes in. She wanna pull up to the crib, we can't dine in. Up right away, couldn't even get a vine in. Straight with the money, we aligned in. Tell me how they broke, tryna chime in. Jesus watching over, he in diamonds. He the only reason why I do not get violent. Ay, cause he gave me patience. Ay, swear that all makes sense. Ay, when you making bands, can make friends. Cause I know they tryna shit like Ray-Bans. Got a bad little shorty wasting. And I own it, I ain't gotta pay rent. Ay, I know we the ones that ain't them. Pull both hands together and I'm saying amen. Cause I'm going big, going big. Everywhere I go, they know the click. Way too many wins, they know the shit. They was hating, know they sick, acting like they know me. Cause I'm going big, going big. Everywhere I go, they know the click. Way too many wins, they know the shit. They was hating, know they sick, acting like they know me. Cause I'm going big, going bigger. Postmates, how I deliver. My game too cold, made it shiver. But I'm still a hot boy, cool it down, let it simmer. Hey, see him mad, got him bitter. Can't stop the shine with a dimmer. Only what I give her, and she let her call me baby, but I do not need a sitter. See me dip, yeah, I'm saucing. People at the bank see me often. Let the money run, it's a faucet. She gave me the that's a faucet. Took over the game, now we all in. I was down in the chips, then went all in. Throwing up the gang, ain't no vomit. Make my mama stop working, that's the promise. Going big, going big. Everywhere I go, they know the click. Way too many wins, they know the shit. They was hating, know they sick, acting like they know me. Cause I'm going big, going big. Everywhere I go, they know the click. Way too many wins, they know the shit. They was hating, know they sick, acting like they know me. Cause I'm
P-Lo, time to bring the bass dirt.